is Jeopardy! Now to be talking with Alex Trebek, I think, or is this the Alex Trebek of the quarterbacks room, Darren Henshaw. Darren, first off, how are things going during quarantine? How's working from home?
I tell you what, it's been really good actually. You know, with the quarterbacks. Now we haven't had to we didn't have the opportunity to meet the last 2 weeks because of academics and finals, but before that we got a lot of meeting time in, and it's been really good. It really has. It's a situation where we've been able to detail defenses, we've been able to detail the offense, and really slow down. And we also break up. So Monday and Fridays I meet with all the quarterbacks. And then Tuesdays and Thursdays, we break it up where I split it up where Joey and Bo are together. We got Amani and Nick together, and Pat. And then we put together Terry Wilson and Sawyer. And so on Thursdays, we play Jeopardy. And it's a lot of fun. And it's still a lot of a learning curve. And I'm going to show that to you here today.
Now, where did the idea of Jeopardy come up from? I mean, I know we hear Zoom meeting, but why did you decide to take it to the next level with this game?
Well, I'll tell you, I was on a meeting with other quarterback coaches all over the country, and one of the quarterback coaches brought up the quarterback coach from Ohio University said, "Hey, I play Jeopardy with my quarterbacks," and I'm like, "Really?" I'm like, "What are you talking about?" And I showed it to Cam. And Cam is he's the guy that's behind the curtain that makes everything happen. So he's done a great job as far as putting our categories together and being able to put all our questions together. And it's fun. And again, I can show it to you today. So,
well, I'm excited because I'm fully prepared to look like an idiot, because there's no way that I know that whatever Cam is going to throw at me, it's going to stump me. So please prepare to bring it on.
So Nick, this is how we start we started off, and you can see we got progressions, which is route progressions that we talk about. We got protection. So these are our protection calls that we talk about with the offensive line as far as protecting ourselves in drop back protection. Then we have formations, which is basically we describe what the formation is, and they have to come up with the name of the formation. And then we have coverages. So we explain what the defense is doing, and then basically what the coverage is. And then we have blitz. What's the defense doing, and what's the blitz called? And I'll tell you this, the coverages in blitz, like to be able to do all this detail in this time has been really good. So go ahead, pick one here.
I'm going to take a gander at coverages for 100.
Okay. So coverages for 100. It's a two-high, corners collide, let go, and have flat responsibility. The safeties are on the hashes playing over the top.
Well, what is cover two?
And the answer is, what is cover two?
Yeah,
boom!
I got one. Yes. I was making sure it wasn't a trick question, but yes. Okay, good. We got
no, and I mean it gets harder and harder as you go down to 500, but that's exactly right. All right, what's the next category you want?
I'm going to go big. The best players they start with the big ones. I want to do coverages for 500.
Okay. It's a two high coverage. The boundary corner is off and has flat responsibility. The boundary safety drops to the half. Field coverage on the hash. The field safety and field corner both drop to quarters.
Cover four? What is cover four?
What is cover eight?
Oh.
Very close. So when it's quarters to the field and half to the boundary, we call that cover eight. So very close though, Nick. That's really
okay.
Close.
I'm close but no cigar. I like that. It's one thing to see what they're throwing at you, but it's another thing to like have to map that out in your head. Like you said, it is definitely a different way than learning, other than just kind of sitting back in the film room.
That's exactly right. And it keeps them interactive. So they're literally answering, and we can go through it if they get it wrong. But the one thing with scoring is if they get it wrong, they get minus.
Right.
It's just like Jeopardy. If they get
Ooh.
it right, they get plus. So we've had it down where Terry Wilson and Sawyer Smith are literally down to the last question, and it was 100-point difference. So I mean, it's a lot of fun as far as going through it. So pick another category.
Let's bring on the blitz. I'll take on the hurricane. Blitzes for 300.
All right. It is a 3-2 strong. That's the Sam hunkered down to the field. The Sam comes inside the tackle, and the Mike wraps around the edge.
Who? Man, I don't know. What is a crash? I don't know. I have no idea.
Exactly. We call that scalp. What is scalp route? So that's our scalp route blitz. And again, we tag all our blitzes where we have A, B, C, D to the field, and 1, 2, 3 to the boundary. But when we start to bring two guys, we always have a name for the blitz.
Right,
so we don't
right.
say we could say Sam at C, Mike at B, but instead we say scalp route. And so they have to memorize what all our blitzes are called when you have two or more guys blitzing, whether it's a safety and a backer or whether it's two backers.
Oh, man. And I'm like, because obviously I don't know your terminology.
Exactly. There's no way.
So I'm not going to be able to completely. But it is, I think it's just, just interesting how to integrate the complexities of defense and how to understand it, because what Mark Stoops can throw at you and the quarterback has to process in a second, there's just the depth and breadth of how much it can be. And I guess this is a good way to simulate the timing because you've got to know it in an instant.
Correct. And this is how they chime in. So let's say Joey Gatewood and Bo Allen are playing against each other. When I say the question, when I say the answer, they have to yell their name to who gets the answer. So it's like you're ringing in. And then Cam and Mark Perry decide who says who gets first, because sometimes they call it both at the same time, and I let them decide who goes first. But I'll tell you this too. What's great about this too is that every time they come off the field in a game, they're on the phone with me, and we have to be able to communicate. And literally, like, this is exactly how we communicate. Like when I say, listen, they scalp wrapped us, in what protection call did you make? And they got to know what that means. And so this game actually helps us with the verbal communication that we do during a game.
You're right, because then it's not like you get on your Microsoft or whatever the NFL uses and you're immediately have the film of the last play ready to draw up. So you have to be able to verbally communicate, and also to communicate that with your offensive line to make sure they're sliding the right way, or you're keeping the running back in when the blitz is coming. So
yeah, in a great, like the category on protection, okay, like Drake Jackson, he's going to be the guy that's going to set the protection. That's how we've done it. John Schlarman, Eddie Gran, unbelievable job of communicating what we want to do as far as our protection calls go. But the quarterback has the ability to override them if he sees something in the secondary, for instance, a scalp wrap or a blitz that's coming. He can change the protection. So it's always one of those situations where he has to know what the protection is, and then also know where his hots are. He has to know. So the protection is huge in this whole deal. So you pick a protection.
Let's take a protection for 200.
All right. So it's a 4-2 under. The will walks up pre-snap and comes after the snap in the 2 gap, which would be our weak B gap. So again, you would be like, what is the protection call?
What is slide left?
There you go. And what we call that is Liz Max.
Okay.
So Max tells them to stay inside the box. If we said Liz team, it tells them to go outside to an outside linebacker or somebody that's walked up outside.
Okay, but he's inside, so you need a
Liz Max. If we went to the right side, we would be saying Rip Max or Rip team and that's a 4-man front. So again, that's something. Again, when you said slide left, that's really good because that's exactly what we're doing. So,
but like you said, there's and I love too all the different names that. So like a call that I've heard, Lucky or Ringo. I just thought Ringo was just funny. Like Ringo, what the hell is that? But I love all the different names because, I mean, you get as creative as you want with some of these. And even like the routes, like if we pick progressions for 300, I'm sure that it's going to be what I think it is, but it's not exactly what you would call it.
Right. Let's try it out.
Okay, let's take a
So
little
this
taste.
is one of our pass routes. It is X or Z dash 3x1.
Oh, oh, oh.
So you got to know what the progression is.
I would think that. So, what is a post in a corner? But
Oh,
it'd be
very.
3x1.
I like it. And the answer is corner, drive, chase. So we
Okay.
have a progression that we go through as a staff, and we decide, like, when we call a route, what the quarterback is supposed to be looking at. And so he's supposed to be looking at the corner route first, the drive, and the chase. And obviously, when I go on Tuesdays with them, we'll watch the actual plays. So
Mm-hmm.
I'll ask them what the progression is, and then we'll watch the plays. But here they have to be able to tell me what it is in the game, which is pretty awesome.
Man, and here's the thing: I remember once upon a time, the New York Jets court, Sam Darnold was getting critiqued for saying he was seeing ghosts out there. And I know you all, both you and Eddie, both use the term. Yes, some they're swimming, and that's the kind of first, second week of spring ball. Whenever Joey and Bo are getting in the office for the first time, I am swimming. I am in deep water, and I am drowning right now. This is playing quarterback in the SEC. I guess it's not as easy as some people might think.
Oh no, I mean you're playing against the best defenses there are in the country. And that's the one thing with progressions, we keep it simple for them. And like Terry's done a great job of coming in and learning, and unfortunately got hurt last year, but he's rehabbing unbelievably right now. He ran full speed for the first time 2 days ago, where he was 100% straight ahead, full speed. So
That's
um,
awesome.
yeah, so we're getting him where he needs to be by the end of this month. We're going to be cutting. We're going to be doing all the things that we need to do to get him ready to play.
I'm curious for some of the younger guys. You're for Joey and Bo who are new to this system. How can you measure their progression from afar? Like what
Well,
tools do you use to see like, okay, this guy's getting it without seeing them go under live reps?
well, I'm not allowed to show you the video, but like Joey Gatewood he's working his tail off.
Mm-hmm.
He actually has an indoor facility where he has access to it, where he's able to go work out, and it's phenomenal what he's doing. Uh, the same thing with Bo Allen. Bo Allen's been, I'm not going to tell you where, but he's been doing an unbelievable job of finding receivers and throwing, and really all the quarterbacks have. I mean, it's been in these circumstances, and obviously with the virus and everything, you got to be very careful. But they've all been working out. They're all, I mean, Sawyer Smith has, Amani Gilmore, Nick Scalzo has been rehabbing. It's a situation where they have found ways to go continue to get better in this situation. So when they do come back, that they're ready to go.
Well, I appreciate you sharing all this with us today. Just really enlightening folks to kind of what happens, even though you can't be in practice working with them together every day. It's cool to just see how the sausage is made, if you will. And with that, I'd like to really look dumb and get one more with formations for 500 and just
Okay.
watch this turn into a disaster.
All right. And this is one of the hardest ones. It is a 4x0. So you're on the left hash. You have X, F, X, Y, Z, all to the field, which Y is on attached,
So
X is
exactly.
off detached, F is off, Z is on detached. So
Oh,
we call this formation basically an unbalanced formation, which we run a lot against teams, which forces them to get into it. Really, obviously, with their defensive calls, it really makes the defense adjust. And
uh, man. So it's a trips with receivers, but it's in theory it's actually a quads because tight ends on the line of scrimmage.
there you
But
go.
but you gotta see. Here's the thing. My little 2A high school football coaches, they love to do this and then run it the opposite way. Just get everybody to shift over to the other side, and then just get a little trap on the backside. Now,
There you
I
go.
I would just say what is quads, but I'm sure that there's a variety of different things you can do by putting certain guys on and off the line of scrimmage.
Well, what we do, and the answer is it's called Twins Right Extra. Okay.
Ooh,
And
extra. I like
yeah,
we got a lot of
extra.
extra.
All extra does is it tells the receiver on the weak side to come over and be on the strong side. So we can line up in a normal, like you were right, it's a three
Oh.
by one set, and extra just tells the opposite receiver away from the call to go line up over there.
Ooh. And you
So
can motion into it and really make the defense scramble right before the snap.
there you go. That's exactly
Oh
right,
man,
Nick. You know your
man.
ball, man.
Oh, this is fun though, because you know that of all the things that you miss from the game, obviously strapping up with shoulder pads and helmets and everything. But there's a different aspect of like getting into the weeds with the terminology, the film, and strategy. Because football is a chess match. It's a beautiful chess match that also involves getting a little buddied up from time to time.
That's exactly right. No, you're exactly right. It is a chess match, and that's exactly what. And the only reason I'll say this about Jeopardy is the verbal part of it, just being able to communicate where you're not just always looking at film. I tell you, it really helps the quarterbacks.
And I'm sure that film room, you get that arm on the head and you kind of slowly start slinking. Where this one, they're competing their tails off, I'm sure, to win. Do we have a leaderboard? Is there one person that's a top of the pack?
Well, right now, Terry has beaten Sawyer twice, so Sawyer's a little upset about that. Amani beat Nick, and then we had on the first group, Joey won once and Bo won once, so
Oh
they're
man,
tied right now.
the rubber match. That's going to
Yeah.
be a heated battle.
Oh yeah. So
I'm sure. Well, Darren Henshaw, thank you very much for speaking with us, and Cam Gardner too, the GA. Thanks for putting all this together. This has been a joy, and I hope all the Kentucky fans out there watching have enjoyed learning a little bit more about what goes on behind the scenes.
there you go. Thank you, Nick. Have a great day, buddy.
Thank you
Thanks.
much.